Let's see. So that's all of that. Here, this is April 8th. The murder that won't go away, the murder that can't leave town, the murder that can't be extradited. Prelude to casino night, which was a game night we had for the students on one of the final Fridays. The Korean staff in the administration office. This was a typical nut scene. I wasn't there. John described this scene. They went to have this casino night for the students, and it involved all kinds of preparation. You know, we're going to have craps and roulette and fuck all. You know, I don't know, blackjack. So all the teachers had to play a part. You know, so it was on a craps table. But it required all this preparation. Well, who prepares it but the Korean staff? You know, they've got to make up all these craps table things and study these rules and make roulette wheels and all kinds of shit in the administration. I was a little office. And, the other problem was the bills. There was always this bill question. In my case, the bills, I mean, I was never there. I wasn't about to pay the bills for this apartment. And I was always like, Jim, what am I going to do with these bills? And he's like, give them to Mr. Park for a while. It was Mr. Park. Mr. Park quit, and he was replaced by Mr. Lee. So, constantly giving bills to Mr. Lee to take care of. John had a similar situation because he was without a roommate, Roger. And so he had like double the amount of bills of everybody else. So the school was supposed to be reimbursing. So he was constantly throwing bills on Mr. Lee's desk to take care of. So, you know, there was always bills with Mr. Lee. And there was about four people, Korean staff in the administration office that did the payroll and all these other things. And then there was this woman, Doris, that showed up about halfway through my time there. She'd been a reject from another school. So they just had this position open. It had actually been created for Kathy, because Kathy was a favorite, semi-administrative vice director or something of the school. And Kathy split. They had this position open. Nobody was taking it. So when they had this reject from another school, they slid her into this vice directorship. She didn't do anything. Her name was Doris. I always called her Doris Do Not. She didn't do anything. She didn't know anything. She just did nothing. Very pleasant, plump, maybe 50, blonde hair, you know, short. But just as dumb as shit, you know. And so this was the scene the Thursday before the casino night in the administration office. So Miss Yu, one of the Korean staff, has her whole desk is covered with a craps table layout, you know, piece of paper with all the crap diagram on it. Miss Kim and the other Korean woman are sitting there practicing blackjack. So they get the rules down so they can explain them to the stupid teachers. And Mr. Lee's sitting at his desk with a big mountain of bills of Rogers and Timmy's. And Timmy's sitting at the typewriter in the administrative office typing. And Doris Do Not is sitting in front of the roulette wheel, spinning the roulette wheel, going like, oh, isn't this fun? Yeah, that about describes it. Fucking madhouse, fucking nut house on wheels there. Look at a bunch of crazy people. The Koreans, in that case, were the only ones who had their heads screwed on straight. Fucking, isn't this fun? Yes, sir. Tonight at Laurie and Marianne's, rehashing the hash. The throat and soul's cut later. At least two people. We figured there was probably two people. Carolyn was fairly strong. She studied Taekwondo. I mean, that's a lot of times to get stabbed. I don't fucking know, unless the first blow killed her and the rest was just for fun. I don't know. Anyway, we figured that probably Carolyn being strong and so on and so forth. Probably did take two people to kill her. Comparing the relative physical strength of Tiny, Kathy, and Carolyn. The intensity of Kathy's eyes versus the naturalness of her reaction. Neither Marianne nor Laurie had ever liked Kathy or Tiny. Tamara and Scott had been friends with Kathy. Nobody really liked Tiny that much. Anyway, her reaction, apparently Kathy's reaction after the murder, she was very shaky, people jumping and shit like that, which seems natural to me. It also seems natural to me that she left the country. I mean, if I had legitimately discovered somebody's body, I would probably shake and leave the country also. Although, who knows? At any rate, Marianne insisted that Kathy had very intense eyes. Officer Joe's statements. Alex, Peter. Scott was the last one to see Carolyn alive. Kathy took charge, according to Tiny, when they discovered the body. Frank, who was then Roger's roommate, coming up from downstairs. Kathy went to the Philippines after the murder, before she went back to the States with Scott and Tamara, and Tiny didn't go, which was unusual because always before Tiny and Kathy had been the closest of whatevers. There's also this very strange stain in my bedroom, next to the bed on the wall. Dark stain. Anyway, remembering the Officer Joe debacle. Officer Joe showed up one time when Pat was having a party for some of the students.